So far, we've just let our cues have the timing that we set by default. But the ability to define the pace at which one look changes to another is a vital part of crafting a journey for our audiences. Timing can press us from one scene into the next. Timing can let a moment hang and rest on our hearts. Timing can be bold. Timing can be nuanced. Timing is a powerful tool. In this lesson, we'll focus on timing for a channel's intensity and intensity only. So for now, we'll just pay attention to the int up and int down columns. Int, of course, referring to intensity, not integers, not the letter L as a one-line nt, not ant spelled wrong. Nope. It's intensity. All right, we're going to want to be able to see both augmented and your PSD. And if you don't see that, you can always go up to one of your snapshots and press that right here so you can see the PSD on the left and augmented on the right. If you don't see that, you can always go to a new tab, display, and press PSD here, whatever works best for you. Okay, we're going to start by going to Q11, so Control G11, Enter, which is a blackout. And then we're going to hit go to transition to Q12. You'll see that these lights come up over 3 seconds. We know that because the column next to the Q says the number 3. If you transition to the next Q, we'll switch to a new set of lights that go over a slower pace of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. We can change the timing to something shorter like 1 second by pressing Q12, I for the time button, 1, and enter. Why not T for time, by the way? Well, because that's already taken up by the through button, which actually makes more sense. It gets used a lot more. Okay, let's go back to Q11, so back. And then let's step forward again to Q12. The transition will happen quickly this time, over 1 second. Likewise, we could extend the transition to something longer. So let's try setting the time to be 20 seconds. So Q12, I for time, 20, and enter. Go back to 11 and try that transition once again. Much slower. Yes? Maybe I regret asking you to do 20 seconds. Anyway, any fade cue transitions a channel from one value to another value. But when we discuss intensity fades, we actually care about 2 things: the values that are increasing and the values that are decreasing. Okay, so we've got int up and int down. Int up meaning any light that is increasing in intensity, coming up, getting brighter. That will happen over this amount of time. Int down is any light decreasing, going down in intensity, getting dimmer. This will happen over that amount of time. If it's got this big block here, that means both are happening over the same amount of time. Otherwise, we can do what we call a split fade, meaning one time for the lights that are getting brighter and one time for the lights that are getting darker. So if you transition from Q13 to Q14, we can see that the int up time is 2 and the int down time is 10. Okay, so let's look at that. So that happened quite quickly. And these ones coming down happen quite slowly. Up over 2, down over 10 seconds. All right, if you transition from 14 to 15, you can now see that we slowly bring up the new lights over 10, and the other lights came down over 2 seconds. This type of timing is what we call, as I said before, a split fade. This is one of the most common, my favorite ways to gain nuance in timing, separating the timing of the lights entering from the timing of the lights exiting. Specifying a split time works in much of the same way as the normal time command, except that we need to provide 2 times separated with a / key. So let's try altering the time on Q16 to be 0 seconds up and 10 seconds down. So we're going to type Q16 time 0 / 10 enter. Okay, now let's try going to Q16 and watching that the lights coming up are going to happen over 10, the lights going down are going to happen over 0, and the lights going down over 10. Boom! Lights came up over 0 seconds, and the lights going down happened over 10. Okay, Let's illustrate one more part of timing when nothing happens. In our last few cues, we've gone back and forth between two looks. But what if there were no lights coming up or no lights going out? You should currently be in Q16. The next cue, Q17, should be the opposite look. So let's mess up our pattern of left and right, left and right. The two lights on stage right should be on. Their channels 12 and 17. So I'm going to take 12 and 17. I'm going to take them at 80%. Now I'm going to update this cue and the next cue. So they're going to be the same in both cues. So I'm going to press update, cue 16 and 17. Okay, you'll now see here that Q17 has no int downtime because it has no channels in which the intensity is going down. More specifically, it's just straight up blank. This happens when a single time rather than a split fade has been specified, or the Q timing is the default time. So give Q17 a split time now. So I'm going to say Q17 time of 5 and 10. Now you'll see that the int time for down is grayed out. This is because we specified a time, but nothing in the cue is actually lowering in intensity. This isn't a way to change timing or to add nuance, but it's really important as a visual signifier to help you understand how EOS displays information. Can you do more timing? Oh, yeah. Just you wait and see. This is just the beginning.